Welcome to episode 14. Yeah, can you believe we're now up to episode 14? Now, early doors here, just before we start, I want to get in with the pleading bit here about asking you to subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thanks very much, brilliant. If you haven't, hit the button below the video and subscribe, because we really need people to subscribe. Okay, so, is that, that's not me. Is it you?
It's me. It's me.
Yeah, nothing like turn your phones off then, is it? Nothing, yeah.
Oh, I've got a video call.
Minis and Motorbikes. Roll on time.
Again. I've had enough. Carry on, I've had enough.
Oh, hello you lot. Right, tonight I'm going to take the fuel tank out. All the clips and bolts and everything have been undone. We've unplugged everything. Actually, my nephew undone a load of bolts on the frame that holds it all in the past episode. So hopefully I just pull out. We'll show you what we've disconnected, pipe work and everything else. And then we'll show you the bulkhead behind the fuel tank to show you what the rust is like. It's really, really bad actually. So that's going to have to be wired, brushed down and then treated with rust converter. I've bought some epoxy, it's very good primer actually, epoxy primer to spray that once we've once we've got it all off and treated the rust, and then I'm just going to go over it with some satin black paint or under seal. I don't know what to do yet, but we've got to get the epoxy primer on it first, then I'll decide, because we can't do any stripping of under seal or anything underneath the car. We've got to keep it as it is. And I don't want to do too much because I'm frightened that they're going to pick us up on it. Yeah, so we'll have a go at that then, shall we? Right, here we go. Now, I think that's the fuel sender. That tells you how much fuel's in there and everything. And I've got a feeling that's a return from the engine to bring fuel back from the engine. It's basically just a couple of clips on either side, long pair of long nose pliers, and it pulls off. There's a ring that holds that in, and then to get that off, all I did was just tap those with a chisel, and then it just turned it, and then you can undo it. And then there's a clip in there. You can't see it. You'll see it better when we get this tank out, because the tank's slid forward actually, because we've got everything off of it. Right, we've got the carbon filter, which sits up inside the wheel arch like that. And then these two pipes obviously connect onto that. This one comes through the bodywork and comes out that hole there and then goes up. And then this one comes around the edge and goes into it that way. And then on the other side we've got the breather for the fuel tank that goes back into it, and the filler neck connection. So we'll show you that, and then it's ready to come out, I think. Right, yeah, this one does the same as the other side, comes through and comes out that outlet there, and then goes up onto a breather there, the filler breather, so when you're filling it up it doesn't backfeed. And then this one obviously goes onto there, and then there's an earth tag that sits on that pipe, and there's a Jubilee clip goes around there, so the Jubilee clip hits that earth wire, and that's it really. And then it's just all disconnected. We pulled all these through, so there's nothing really to stop us pulling this tank out now, hopefully, fingers crossed. Right, you know. So yeah, we give it a go, shall we? So you're gonna have to get on the other side, Mark.
Alright. Right, I'll give you a hand then, right, shall I?
Right then, so it's to me, because we can't do to me to you
heavy?
anyway. We can't do to me to you, to me to you. Yeah, no, it shouldn't be too bad.
Shouldn't be too heavy?
No.
I haven't got much to get hold of here, and I like something to get hold of.
That's what your missus said.
There's no need for that, is there?
Is it coming?
No, it's not.
Hang on, let's get it. How's that?
Hang on, I've got
What's it getting caught on? Getting caught on?
caught on something.
Is it?
It's like it's not.
Let's have a look. It should come. Should come. I
No,
think
it's
it's,
like,
no, it's
can you
getting
see
caught
up
on.
here, look? It's
It's
caught
getting
on
on
the-
that. Yeah, it's getting caught on that.
It's caught on
that
the.
cinder. Hang on. Let's get it extra standing right. I'll make a load of noise.
Yeah.
We'll bend this out the way.
Get a nice shot of the back of your head.
Yeah, because we don't need that anymore.
Oh.
And then it should, hopefully. Oh. exhaust. There we go, here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes, here it comes. There we go. Oh, there we are, look. There she is.
Plastic?
Yeah. Yes.
Plastic?
Yeah, so we give
Right,
that a good
look.
clean up. I know
You might have
didn't
put
put
your
your
hands up
gloves
now.
on, did you?
Didn't put my gloves on. You might have
You
took my
didn't put
hands
your
up there.
gloves on. What the bloody hell are you going to do now?
Oh.
You got your hands dirty. Right, we've got a new one of these. eBay. So we've got a new one of them, which is obviously what we need. So we ain't got to try and do that one up because that one's just far too gone. So we're not going to worry with that one. We've got all this rust in it. It's fine sort of in the middle bit, but it's all this bit round here. So I'm going to treat all that with a wire brush and treat it with rust killer. We can't do anything with the underseal or anything like that. We've got to keep the original underseal. So all I'm going to do is clean that up once we've treated all the rust. I'm going to paint the rust with epoxy primer and then probably go over it with a body underseal or something and then paint the whole lot so you can still see the original underseal that they've got on it up to this point. And then the inner wings will probably paint white the same colour as the body shell. So literally underneath would just be black underseal, but just tighten it up and neaten it up. The brake lines I might even run through the inside of the car. At the moment obviously they come underneath, but I've read the amended regs and they say we can actually run them through the inside of the car. So I might do that yet, but these have all got to be redone because they've just corroded away when we tried to undo the brake pipes on the caliper. They just twisted round. They were just seized to it. So I think they've already been done anyway at some point. They're just so badly been put in. So we're neating that up. Yeah, obviously we need a new heat shield for the exhaust. The exhaust we're going to sort out anyway. We're going to put a straight pipe from the cat all the way back and then just put a silencer on the back and that'll come straight down the middle. Straight down the middle.
Did Dean Martin just walk in?
It's uncanny, isn't it? Actually, I think you'll find that was Bing Crosby who sung that.
Was it?
Yes.
Straight down the middle.
Is that the only line you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're there. I think that's about it. Obviously I'll clean it all up. Probably what we might do is set up time lapse or something because you've seen all that before because it's the same as cleaning all the underseal off inside. I might go into more detail with the rust treatment and all that sort of thing. But yeah, I think we're sort of sorted really. Get the axle all sandblasted and the bits and pieces. So, tell you what we do need to do. We need to weigh the swing arms so you can see the difference between the aluminium weight and the steel ones. Right, here we go. We're going to weigh the swing arms now, and Williams Engineering has designed us this weight determination machine. It's just a luggage weight machine. So we're going to see the difference between the two. I've built that one back up so it's more or less got on it exactly the same as the aluminium one. So we go with the steel one first. Let's turn her on. Units, kilograms, right. Now watch me this right up. Where did I iron it on there? We'll go around there, look. There's a washer there, look. Why don't we go on that? And then rolling. Right, here we go. Right, so. Oh, it's gone off. It's gone off, Mark, it's gone off.
We'll turn it back
Right,
on.
here we go. Right, so that is saying 12.4 kilograms. Do you want to put the camera onto it so we can see the reading? Right, that's that one. Now, do this one. I've got the same, I haven't got the same.
This is the alloy one, isn't it?
It's the alloy one.
So you want me to be lighter?
Yeah. Right, let's zero it up. Right, okay. 10.10 kilograms. So what was the other one? 12.4, so that's 2 kilos. That's nearly 5 kilos. No, so that's 12. That's 2 kilos. We say 2 kilos. So that's 2 times 2. That's 4 kilos. We can say.
Yeah, 5 kilos.
Yeah, nearly 10 kilos.
Nearly 10 kilos, isn't it? That's nearly 10 kilos. It's nearly what I weigh, isn't it?
Yeah. That's
What,
nearly
my weight in, what are they called?
swing arms. Yeah.
Swing arm. My weight in swing arms.
Yeah, so on a serious note, then that's 4 kilos. That's a bloody lot, isn't it? But now, this is where we might come unstuck, because I'm not 100% sure we can run that, the aluminium one.
You're not 100% sure?
No, I'm not. I'm not certain we can actually run it. Although it is a mini spec, I'm not sure if we can. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get this one all refurbished and sandblasted and done and ready. So then if we're at the circuit and scrutineer and pick up on it and say, look, oh no, you can't run that one, then hour and a half, we can swap them back over onto the steel ones before we go out onto the circuit. So hopefully we can use these. But yeah, so I might get this one vapor blasted and tidied up, and obviously all the steel work sandblasted and done. Yeah, so I'm quite impressed with that. 4 kilos. 4 bloody kilos. That's what, 8 bags of potatoes. Oh, don't go, just now, epoxy primer. I'm going to do it with cans in the back there. We're not going to set the compressor up and all that sort of thing. We're just going to do it with cans so we can show that it can be done with cans. I'm still going to cock it up, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, we're just going to try that one. It's just an eBay. They're not sponsoring us or nothing. So yeah, we'll try that. Once we've treated the rust, brushed it all off with an angle grinder and drill. Go over it with epoxy with a rust treatment, then epoxy primer, and then we do some underbody spray on it. So yeah, so we're going to use that. And that one is a gloss black enamel paint for the swing arms and everything else. All the other metal work. Now that is it. That is really it. Yes, it is.
Right, well, while Adam's having a bit of a tidy up at the workshop, I've been allowed out to play again and have a chat with somebody who's got a pretty special car. Probably in my top 5. As you know, one of them's the Cobra, which if you go back a couple of episodes, we went and spoke to the guys at XTS and had a look at what they're doing there. This car is definitely in my top 5. To give you a little bit of a background and history, in 1956 Jaguar decided to start working on a road version of their race car. In 1961 they launched it at the Geneva Motor Show, and Enzo Ferrari said it was one of the best looking, prettiest cars he's ever seen, which is pretty high praise from Enzo Ferrari. If you're not sure what we're talking about yet, you do now. The Jaguar E Type.
Well, hi, welcome. This is my Series 2 1969 E-Type Roadster. I've owned it for about 10 years, and from memory off the heritage certificate, it was obviously built in Jaguar and supplied new in New York in America. It came back to the UK in 2010, imported by a gentleman who just took on the restoration really. It was originally British Racing Green with a biscuit trim, and it got changed to this, which is my favourite colour, opalescent silver blue. The refurb moved along for about a year, and I don't know what happened, but the guy decided to sell it. Where this is when I purchased the car, and it was still in many bits, not complete, and I set about finishing it with the same company that had started the project, and we got it finished in about 2013, as you see it pretty much here today. History wise, I'm the second owner in the UK. I don't know anything about it from its stateside, but when the restoration was done, we took off all the running lights that are typical of the American cars, and obviously converted it to right-hand drive. And then what we'll do in a minute, I'll open the bonnet and we can have a good look round. So I'll see you then. Okay, let's open the bonnet, have a look, see what it's all about. See what made these things supposedly do 150 mile an hour. Every nut and bolt, everything on this has been apart at some point. Most of it we've tried to salvage, make good, renew and buy new where we've had to. Obviously originally a left-hand drive, so there's a few differences to a normal UK car, throttle linkage and stuff like that. And there's a couple of mods that we did along the way, electronic ignition being one, just to make it easy to start. And then we're running a 5-speed gearbox, which, if memory serves me right, it's possibly out of a Toyota actually. I can't remember. It's a matching numbers engine, but obviously not gearbox. And they just help make it usable in normal traffic today. It's a piece of art really, just like the outside. The rest of the car is pretty much standard. The only thing that isn't is the colour of the hood. They only did this colour scheme with the red interior and the opalescent silver blue with black or navy hood. I like the red, so I did a full job on it, including the boot. If you can call it that. You need a real slim suitcase. Right, okay, let's see what it looks like with the roof down, which is what it was really built for. And this roof, incidentally, I'd handmade in mohair, so it matched the original spec. You couldn't buy one off the shelf. And this is what really makes these cars what they are. They're just brilliant fun with the top down. In fact, we'll try and take you for a ride in a minute.
All right, see you in a second. Now, for a car of the 60s, what a smooth car.
Yeah.
What a smooth car.
And she's quick.
That is incredible.
This is not what you was expecting.
No.
Oh, yeah.
I was expecting a real shake your feelings out, rattling
No. I beg your pardon. No. Shake your feelings out. It's not quite as smooth with the top down at 150 mile an hour, but there you go. Yeah, so Jaguars, I think they're saying, was when it graced pace and space or something like that. And you get a few admiring toots as you go along. But this ain't got no space, but it's got plenty of grace and it's got loads of pace if you want it. Well, the early ones, the series ones, where they had the cross member, which was further forward and different seats, anybody over about 5'10", you just couldn't drive the thing. So in this model with a Series 2, obviously they put a bigger engine in it, they sorted the cross member out, they changed the brakes, they sorted the gearbox out. So it's a much more usable car. Not as desirable as the Series 1 obviously, but it's not far off. And it's a nice thing to drive every day on normal roads as we're doing now.
Yeah. Great stuff. Well, thanks very much for showing us this E-Type Jag today. It's been a real treat. I started the film by saying it was in my top 5. I think this is going to be my top 3 now. So we've got the Cobra, we've got the E-Type Jag, and then there's a secret one which we'll hopefully find someday. But no, brilliant. Thanks very much.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, no, fantastic, brilliant. Thank you. back to Adam in the I was going to say studio then, back to Adam in the workshop. He's going to be envying this. He's going to be envying this.
We're under it again. Now, what I was thinking of doing, just to show you, because you won't want to see us cleaning it all off. I might show the painting it all, but the cleaning it all off, I'm not going to. What I'll do is I'll just show you a little bit of what we're going to do and then treat it with rust killer. We're only going to use the Hammerite stuff because it's cheap and it's just good enough. It's plenty good enough, and we're going to put epoxy primer on it anyway. So we clean it off. We're Hammerite rust eater on it, and then we epoxy primer it, and I might shorts it black underneath. Just do the whole lot underneath black all round this thing, and then just do the wheel arches in white. I think I'm going to go for a sort of lot of Vauxhall Glacier white. Yeah, so I'll just get cracking then, shall I? Put the old eye muffs on and make some noise. Ready? Ready, Mark?
Yeah, I'm ready. Well, you're going to be doing it all.
See what we got. Yeah, it's got a lot of rust off. There's all this to do under here. We'll probably just concentrate on that little bit just to show you what we're doing. God, it's a messy old job, isn't it? There's still a bit on there. Look, I've got to get that off. Right, put my eye muffs back on. These are bloody good, aren't they? Bloody good, Mark. Right. Right, I think it's going to be as best it gets. So basically what we've done there, we're going to do all round here and everywhere else. You know, there's all paint chippings and everything else. So that'll do that, and I'll just show you the treatment, and then we put that on. I think you have to let it cure for 24 hours before you do any priming or anything like that. Right, I'll just get the rust killer. Right, now I'm telling you this because when I first started doing stuff like this, I made a ridiculous mistake by dipping my paintbrush into the pot of cure rust and then paint it on. And what happened is it made that all go all bloody horrible and so what you do is you decant it out into a little tub and you go into the little tub so then you don't contaminate the new pot. And we're trying this first because there's some other stuff I want to try, so I only bought a little pot of that. But then it's just literally just dousing it in that. We'll put it up there where I've stripped it all off, so it don't. I've stripped some off up there, so we just cover that up, so because it primes it as well. You see when it goes off, gives it a little layer of some sort of primer. But we're going to epoxy prime it anyway, so and you literally just cover it, smother it. I'm probably doing it wrong. And that's it. And you let that cure go off. Might even give it another coat. It says it doesn't really need it, but we try it. There's some around here that I've got some nice clean stuff off as well, so stick it all in. And that's it really. Don't tip it back into the pot because it will contaminate it, so just leave that in the old spray lid, wash the brush out, then Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We'll let that go off and see what happens then. Right, we've done the rust treatment, we've brushed it all off. I'll give it a quick go of etch primer, and then I've put the epoxy primer on top of it to stop it rusting basically. And now you can see the difference between this side and that side. Hopefully you can see how much better it is. The only thing I am worried about is the thinness of the metal work over there on that bulkhead over there, because we've got a metal plate in the floor for the roll cage. We've got to weld to that, and I noticed that there's a tiny little hole blown in it. So I'm a little bit worried about that when these plates are welded in. But I think I'm going to actually paint the whole thing white underneath now. I'm not going to use the black swaltz, I'm just going to paint it. I think it'll just look better. And I've tried some rattle cans, which we'll show you in a second. Tried some just white 2-pack out of a rattle can, white primer, and then the white paint, give it just a couple of little coats. And it's come up really nice, so I think I'm just going to paint the whole bloody lot white. But the trouble is, I can't paint this bulkhead until those plates have been welded in, because obviously they burn through. So there's a good chance we probably have to rub that little bit down again and then prime it again before we paint it. But it gives you an idea of what it's all about and what we're trying to achieve. I mean, it's all pitted and horrible, obviously, where it's been, but it's gonna have a good coat of paint on it, and it's a racing car at the end of the day. I mean, ideally, what I would have liked to have done was strip the shell right down to nothing, put it on a rotisserie, and then stripped everything off of it, treated it, even dipped it or sandblasted it. But as I keep rattling on to you, we're not allowed to take any of this original under seal off as part of the championship. We've got to keep it on, so hence that's why I haven't gone to the extremes of doing what we'd normally do. But yeah, I think it'll be all right. I don't want to upset them, so we've got to do it. We've got to do what the regs say, keep to the regs. So that's basically what we're doing, just keeping to the regs.
Right, so thanks for watching episode 14, and a big thank you to Kevin Willett for showing us his E-Type Jag.
Yeah,
absolutely superb car that was, really.
Yeah, thanks, Kev. Come up here anytime. Anytime you want to come up here, have a look.
Yeah, big thank you for that.
Yeah,
so thanks for watching the episode. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.